is looked upon as a logical replacement. CFLs, compact fluorescent lamps, are not, I hear that, are not a logical replacement. The recommended disposal of these light bulbs is too cumbersome for most people to comply with. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency has recommended double bagging these to prevent mercury leakage. But some state environmental protection agencies have found that this method is not sufficient to contain vapors. Their recommendation? Put the bulb in a sealed glass jar. These may interfere with some common devices found in the homes. This is a warning from one of those manufacturers' package. Quote, "This product may cause interference with radios, cordless telephones, and remote control devices, and on and on and on and on." Ask, what effect will these CFLs have on heart monitors or pacemakers? What effect may a house full of these lamps have?
The warming catastrophe that Al Gore has warned you about has been canceled. And how do we know it's been canceled? We now have top UN scientists telling UN conferences that warning them of decades of coming global cooling. The UN is in a panic, which means today's high school kids forced to watch Al Gore's film, An Inconvenient Truth, some of them 4 times in 4 different classes, will be nearly eligible for ARP, age 50 retirement age, by the time warming resumes, if the new studies are correct and the UN is correct. But there's been a silver lining when it comes to global warming. CNN, Miles O'Brien, one of the worst climate reporters, was let go by CNN due to budget cuts, and as a result, CNN's global warming coverage has radically improved. The Weather Channel's Heidi Cullen was also let go due to budget cuts. Heidi Cullen wanted to take away the certification of meteorologists who dared question man-made global warming. She's been cut from the Weather Channel due to the recession, and their coverage has improved dramatically of global warming. Things are looking up. D.C. is scared of you, supporting the global warming bill. He signed a letter with 9 other Democrats saying he can't support it in its present form. It is so bad that John McCain, who co-sponsored 2 global warming bills, has now said this bill is a farce and he's bailed out. John McCain gets it. That's how bad it's become for him. It's so bad, Governor Pawlenty of Minnesota was all about global warming a few years ago. Now he's under fire for the only time he talks about global warming is when he mocks and ridicules it. Pawlenty gets it. Charlie Crist, the Florida governor, was billed as the GOP's Al Gore. He is now bailing out of global warming cap and trade. Charlie Crist is hearing the message.
He ain't gonna get elected.
8 out of the 9 Minnesota governor's candidates reject man-made global warming fears on the Republican side. We are making progress. We've made it to the point now where congressmen, some of the 8 GOP who supported this bill and the centrist Democrats who supported the House climate bill are literally regretting it, and they're letting leadership know, and leadership is terrified. The Senate bill is looking very shaky at the moment. Science has become so bad. When you have a lack of global warming, predictions of cooling, we now have a U.S. Senator, Debbie Stabenow, coming out saying that global warming isn't about rising temperatures, it's about volatility. No mistake. The Gallup poll editor said Gore is losing. The American people grow more skeptical as time goes on. But Thomas Schelling, Nobel Prize-winning economist, global warming fear promoter, said that he sometimes wishes for a lot of horrid things to happen to Americans, like tornadoes in the Midwest. We've reached a point where they're so desperate to promote the science of global warming, they're wishing death and destruction on people. Obama's own energy secretary, Chu, he has literally come out this summer and said that science tells him for certain what the Earth will be like 100 years from now. There's no way to falsify man-made global warming theory. Mathematical physicist Frank Tipler says, the anthropogenic global warming has akin now to astrology. It's a perfect example of a pseudoscience. Whatever happens, it makes non-obvious predictions which are then compared. It has failed to make the predictions come true. It's not a science at all. Whether ice caps melt or expand, whatever happens, it fits their theory. He was going to be the first president to slow the rise of sea level. I'm not making that up. He actually said that. He's also wants to shoot stuff in the atmosphere to cool the earth. They've talked about painting roofs white. But what's scary about Obama, he may have powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. Because in July, the sea level report came in. Sea level rise had a pause and maybe a slight downward trend, according to the data. Just 8 months into office, President Obama may have slowed sea level. We're up against a tough cookie. Woo! Philip Stott, a professor in the UK University of London, has called this and warned it's a new form of colonialism, where the white, wealthy Western world is imposing their values and their ideology on people of color, 1.6 billion of whom lead a nasty, brutish, and short life without electricity. Ben Cardin, Democrat senator from Maryland, right over the bridge here, has said global warming cap and trade represents the greatest revenue-generating proposal of our time. In Germany, in the UK, they're proposing personal CO2 budgets for every man, woman, and child on the planet. Think about that. International body, watching where you set your thermostat, keeping track of your mileage, keeping track of your gas usage, your airfare, your train travel. At the same time, the UK is proposing a carbon ration card modeled after World War II. And I want to leave on a note. I'm not saying the bill is over. I'm saying they're on the ropes. And I'm saying the American people, because of these kind of tea parties, because of the message they're hearing, Congress is running scared. But never underestimate the ability of Congress to offer costly non-solutions to problems that don't exist. And make no mistake about it, this bill is scientifically meaningless, but it would cost the economy hundreds of billions of dollars. At the same time, families, thousands of dollars per family, all to accomplish nothing, assuming they're right on the science.